Alrighty, hello everybody. A little bit later than we might have expected, but we finally got all of our technical issues out of the way. Welcome back to the Mania Long Note Tournament 3rd edition. We are here with the final match of the finals weekend. It is to determine who will round out the podium positions. It is GripWarrior, also known as Nepogen, going up against GrillRoasted. The match is already underway. GrillRoasted taking the first point. We are on the second map of this match. It is one of our coordination picks coming out here. As always, my name is Sparky, and I am joined once again in the commentary booth by Dynascape. Dyna, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Sparky. This match is so powerful that it literally killed 1.5 streamers.
Yeah, for sure. It was too powerful to contain that we had to wrangle 3 backups to try and get everything in place for you guys here at the moment. And as you can see on screen, GripWarrior having the advantage right now going into the last third of the map. It was Gamma Stock giving me hard bags, one of our coordination picks, the pick. This is actually GrillRoasted's first pick. We saw GripWarrior destroy this map in their match against Pavin, I believe. But that being said, they might have also had issues. I think this was one of the maps that gave both Pavin and GripWarrior a bit of issues, but GripWarrior was able to take the point in the end. And right now they do have the advantage off the back of a break from GrillRoasted. GripWarrior suffering in terms of accuracy, but able to hold on to the combo for the moment going into the last quarter of the map.
Yeah, and this is one of the only maps that both players had played in their matches. Just looking at the scores earlier, I did see that if both players were to FC it, it would have been extremely close in terms of the 300 and 200 count. But as it stands, GrillRoasted did take a miss. I'm gonna go ahead and guess that was probably in the bad apples section and also the Wonderball section. I'm not very sure. However, GripWarrior is gonna find himself a nice lead.
Yeah, and that second break, or a next break from GrillRoasted, is probably going to be the nail in the coffin for this pick. At the moment, last sliver of map left to go. GrillRoasted, that one, if the previous one wasn't going to break, this one will, and GripWarrior are going to be able to hang on for the last couple of jacks to read through, able to make it through the roll. Perfectly done by both players, but it is going to be GripWarrior taking the breakpoint in kind from GrillRoasted to make this 1-1 now.
And yet another FC comes out on this map. I don't know how all of these players have been doing it. This map is so testing in so many ways. Yet GripWarrior is going to find himself up. Again, look at that. More 200s, but less 300s. And it's pretty close. GrillRoasted
Yeah.
did take a pretty nasty couple of breaks. However, good performance.
One of those back and forth picks that could have gone either way. A quick little recap since we did come in mid-match. The bans were as follows. Let's see if we can pull those up here. Polyrhythm was banned by Nep. GrillRoasted did ban Yoruni Kakeru, so we won't hear that banger in this match. Nep's first pick was Grief and Malice, which GrillRoasted took the breakpoint on, and GrillRoasted picked Gamma Stock Giving Me Hard Bags, which Nep did take that breakpoint back in kind. And the protects, Nep protected Wildcard 5, so Confession going to be left up in the pool, and GrillRoasted protected Tech 3, Cathedral. As we make our way into this next pick, it is going to be End of a Dream. GrillRoasted's second pick coming out here, just blitzing through these picks.
Yeah, and GrillRoasted taking the earliest miss possible. Really unfortunate start, but is going to find themselves climbing back up.
Yeah, the one bad side about missing that early on is the fact that this map is definitely an order of magnitude shorter than, say, something like the coordination picks, which clock in at well around 4 minutes in some instances. So the room for recovery is going to be a lot narrower, and that's going to hand Nep this advantage that they have clawed out going into the second quarter of the map. 99.8% accuracy to the 99.1 of GrillRoasted. Definitely not having the best of times with this map so far.
Yeah, and with that accuracy and how things started, I kind of wonder if GrillRoasted missed the first like maybe 10 notes or something. Maybe hands were off the keyboard because this is unusually low, um, especially for what pretty much should have been an FC.
Yeah, by their standards, it is probably a run that you would just instantly want to restart on. But as we make our way into the back half of the map, Gross is doing a pretty decent job of getting back on the saddle. 99.4% accuracy for them to the 99.8 of Nep for the moment. Last third of the map still upcoming, and I mean, as long as Nep can hold on to this FC, it's basically going to keep GripWarrior at bay for the moment. The accuracy, if nothing else, also shielding Nep from any potential comebacks from GripWarrior here.
Yeah, very comfy, about 10k lead in this last quarter of the map, and this is a very physical one as well. I mean, we even saw Demi 2 hours ago in their previous match take a very, very nasty CB rush, I believe at around this section, something like that.
Oh, and Nep does find the drop. Is there enough time for GripWarrior to take this back? It swings over right at the very end. Is there enough time for Nep to bring this back? They had the cleaner run, but that break at the very end, GripWarrior recovers and takes the point at the very end of the map. Oh my goodness.
No way. And yeah, Grill Roasted missed like around the first 5 notes of the map, but a very clean run for the rest of it does just enough to edge GripWarrior out. Unfortunate break at the end for him, but we're gonna see Grill Roasted go up 2-1.
Oh my goodness, an intense back and forth. And like I said, GripWarrior got back on that saddle, was able to recover their accuracy to be competitive, to try and capitalize on any mistakes, and Nep finding that break towards the end of the map. Maybe the stamina just ran out on them. We saw, as you were saying, Demi found a pretty nasty CB rush on their match against Siluesca Els in a similar position, maybe just misreading those last couple of patterns at the very end, fatigue setting in and costing them the point there. But with that being said, it looks like oh, actually, that was Nep's pick. So, breakpoint still between these two players, and it is going to be wildcard 1. So, Opus 1 coming out here.
Man, I really can't get over that miss. It feels like, I don't know, Demi struck from the grave. It's some revenge from their match last week.
Mm-hmm. But with that being said, you got to put that behind you. So far, it has been breakpoints between these two players. It's still very early on. There's still plenty of match. This is a best of 13. First player to 7 points will be securing themselves a spot in the grand finals against none other than Demi-Fiend.
I would like to point out this was Grill Roasted's pick, right? And we haven't seen them play this map. GripWarrior did play this in their match against Pavin and scored a 990, almost 2 FC on this. So makes you wonder if Grill Roasted feels confident on a map like this, given the scores that were already set by GripWarrior.
Yeah, for sure. As we all know, GripWarrior, one of the best long note players in Europe, the only European remaining left in this tournament, basically carrying that entire continent on their shoulders. But as we make our way into the second third of the map, we see Nep begin to pull away in terms of accuracy. 0.08% becomes 0.1%, and these fine margins between these high-level players, all the difference that they need to really pull away in terms of score difference. But right now, this is a very fragile lead as we make our way into the back half of the map.
Yeah, I think both players traded a 200 in that trill section. However, Grill Roasted comes out worse for wear, and with that miss is going to solidify what becomes a larger lead for GripWarrior.
Yeah, and unlike that miss from GripWarrior on the previous map, this one coming in the middle section is going to do a lot more damage in terms of score and make that recovery run that much harder. There's still time for them though, a quarter of the map left to go, but GripWarrior is starting to pull away here in terms of overall accuracy. 99.7 for them to the 99.6 of GripWarrior. It was a pretty clean drop, but a drop nonetheless.
Yeah, anything can happen in this last section. A CB rusher, a miss like that might swing things back for Grill Roasted. It was really clean though.
Yeah, for sure. Falling off of that high 99.8 perch down to the 99.7, still holding the accuracy advantage over Gorosa, but this 400 combo cap really starts to tear away into the lead. The good thing about these dense maps is the fact that you can get back to it to mitigate the bleeding, and Nep holds on despite a very scary last section to take a fourth breakpoint in this match to make it 2-2.
Wow, it's it's gonna be one of those matches, right, Sparky? Those we
Oh yeah.
always talk about, where it's just breakpoint after breakpoint after breakpoint, and no one knows what they really should be picking.
Yeah, for sure. When you have players this closely matched, the amount of separation is basically you can draw a Venn diagram and just come up with a perfect circle to encapsulate the skill sets these two are so good at. That finding that one pick that can discomfort your opponent becomes the hardest thing in the world. You really need to take some risks to try and pull ahead here.
Definitely. And given the map pool, I did take a look at both of their matches, and it seems like I like. Actually, I wasn't sure about the Yoroni Kakeru ban from Grill Roasted, because given both of their scores, because they did both play it in their previous match, it was pretty close. However, GripWarrior is gonna go with Density 2 So Grand.
Yeah, so staying in that density pool, maybe thinking that the more physical aspects can lead to some pretty nasty chokes throughout the map. We've already seen these players trade misses back and forth to make this very, very interesting, as it looks like the players are ready. We are going to get started with this fifth map of this best of 13, quickly whittling down to a best of 9.
Yeah, both players tied up, and with 4 breakpoints in a row, you have to wonder who is gonna take this one. It is GripWarrior's pick, so maybe the curse will be broken here.
Yeah, there's no way we get 5 breakpoints in a row, right?
No way. No way at all.
Nah, not gonna happen. But as we get this map underway, we see Nep holding on to the higher accuracy. You would imagine as things start to pick up, they'll start to balance out. Grorosid will probably climb, but that's a bit of a rush of a 200s. Very early on here, gonna damage their score for the moment here. 99.6 and a 99.85. Nep really handling this introduction with consummate ease as we make our way into the second quarter of the map.
And this is what I would believe to be a pretty unorthodox pick from GripWarrior as well. In their last match, it was just tech after tech after tech pick for them. Wonder if, maybe they don't feel as good in those elements when up against someone like Grill Roasted. However, it does seem like this density pick is working out for them. I mean, a 99.85 is such a good performance, and Grill Roasted hanging on for dear life at a 99.6 and dropping a bit of AC. Gonna have to see what happens in this back half.
Yeah, for sure. A very dense inverse-like section coming through here. Nep still holding on with that 99.83. Has yet to fall off the perch here, but there's a slider break, and the lead immediately goes over to Girl Roasted going into the last third of the map. It was a pretty clean miss, but it does bring the accuracies back in check, and a second one from Nep is going to help solidify this lead for Girl Roasted here. Last quarter of the map still to go, and now Girl Roasted takes the accuracy lead.
Another unfortunate break by Nep. Not what you want to see here. Just has some trouble with the consistency and getting it down and FCing the map. Really unfortunate. Sparky, is this gonna be the 5th breakpoint that we said couldn't happen?
It is shaping up to be that way. Groros is definitely not out of the woods just yet. There is one very, very nasty burst section, and we are currently underway with that section as we make our way into the last sliver of map. Groros is still with the advantage, pulling away a comfortable lead. A drop here could change things, but there is not enough map, and Groros is going to take the 5th breakpoint in this match and make it 3-2.
I mean, I have to check the calendar. It must be like opposite day or something, right? Like, I don't. understand what's going on here. But I mean, both players are just picking each other's maps so perfectly.
Yeah, and it looks like it was a bit of a mechanical issue on Nep's side, blaming the drop on a double tap. And I mean, double taps in an LN focused tournament are the bane of LN players' existences because it is so out of your control when your keyboard just decides to cut an LN on your behalf. And with how densely packed some of these patterns are, can definitely lead to additional bad judgments being thrown on there. But with that being said, it is going to be Gross's pick, an opportunity once again to try and capitalize on the breakpoints that are being given here. And it is going to be Tech 3 coming out here.
We're gonna have to see if this pick is another gifted point for Neb. I mean, they've been
Maybe,
gifting. It is the season of gifting, right? So they've
for sure.
been giving each other points left and right. Both of these players have played this in their matches. Grill did have a better 200 count, but more 300s. So I believe that if both of these players do FC, and hopefully that's not a curse or anything, it's going to be extremely close.
For sure. As we make our way into the map, the players already know no breaks on this crazy train as we make our way deeper and deeper into this match. So much on the line for both of these players, so close to securing yourselves that podium position and an opportunity to try and contest for that first place title. Remains to be seen. We're already in the mid game of this match. Cannot afford to drop any more breakpoints if you are either of these players, as Nep seems to have found a bit of comfort on these very awkward bursts. Reading through them does find a bit of a rush of 300s, maybe a couple of 200s as well towards the end of the section, but still holding on, both of them, to their full combos. It's just Nep 1/10 ahead, as we have seen throughout this match.
Yeah, a bunch of early 200s coming up from Grill Roasted before they even got to the combo cap. I mean, this is one of those maps when I was taking notes on the pool where I just kind of like squinted my eyes even more, and I was like, this is kind of interesting. Like, I don't understand how these players can act it so well. But both of them did do really well on this map.
Yeah, right now Groros is starting to pick up the pace a little bit here, back into that 99.7 range, closing inside of 0.1% as we make our way into the back half of the map. Nep's still ahead for the moment, but that gap is quickly closing, that lead is quickly shrinking, and I feel like we're going to get into a bit of a tug of war here towards this last third of the map. It is 0.03%. Nep cannot afford to give up even an inch right now to Grill Roasted, but GripWarrior is going to be finding the drop, a slider break in the last quarter of the map is going to immediately hand this lead back over to Grill Roasted. I'm still looking to see if that might have been a Banjo drop, but it doesn't look like that combo is recovering. That was an organic miss, and now Grill Roasted has a 0.1% of a lead after trailing for so much of this map. Last of the map left to go, and that is another break from Nep, and I feel like that one might be the one that the towel gets thrown in on. They see the writing on the wall. They know that they cannot afford to miss on maps like this, and Grill Roasted going to take advantage of that breakpoint for once and not hand it back over and make it 4-2 now.
Yeah, just as you said, Nep could not afford to give Grill Roasted an inch, but immediately gives Grill Roasted a mile to work with. A bunch of unsavory drops. I mean, it might have been a keyboard issue again or something for that second burst of drops, but that first one was super, super unfortunate. And we're going to see the first actual non-breakpoint of the match.
Yeah, so Gross is able to capitalize now and build up point advantage. Nep going to need to take a breakpoint in kind to try and bring things back level. And it is going to be Event Horizon, their next pick, to try and maintain some control in this match. It has been a nervy back and forth, but Groros is currently with the upper hand here as we make our way into the mid game of this match.
Yeah, a lot of work to be done for Nep. It's down 2 points. It is their pick, so hopefully can stifle that lead just a little bit, stop the bleeding. We're gonna have to see with Event Horizon.
Alrighty, and here we go. This first burst is going to give us a lot of information here. Grow Roasted faring a little bit worse for wear on this very, very dense introduction. NEP holding on for right now in that 99.8 range. Grow Roasted does tighten up just a little bit, bring it within a 1/10 of a percent. Once again, this has been the margin that so many players have been treading on. This singular 10th between these two players. Any 200s can swing this back and forth in an instant, but with a map as long as this one, clocking in at just under 4 minutes, there's going to be plenty of room for improvement and collapses.
Yeah, and if it's anything like last match, I mean, GripWarrior did have the lead disadvantage at the start, but as the map went on, slowly crept his way up back to NEP's position, as we see here just a little bit.
Yeah, for sure, closing it to about 0.05%. It is up to NEP to maintain this very high accuracy, because we know GripWarrior can make their way through these, dare I say, not as release heavy oriented patterns. It's just reading through it and making sure your holds are in check as they do start to bring it up just a little bit, picking up the pace and closing that gap to 0.03% as we make our way into the second third of the map.
Things are getting very, very close. This is an extremely long map, clocking in at 3 minutes, or almost 4 minutes actually. So it really is a test of stamina and to see who can hold on for the longest. A miss isn't too much, especially if it's at the start. However, we are starting to get into this back half here, where if you do miss, then there's not as much time to get back in the game.
Yeah, for sure. It is still a very fine margin that NEP is playing with right now. 300% still able to keep themselves ahead of Grow Roasted. Any singular 200s or a drop like that will swing things in an instant. I pray that that is not a double tap once again from NEP's keyboard. It is destroying these incredible performances that they have been putting up. It is out of their control for the moment. All they can do right now is try to recover. It is a 0.1% the deficit as they get back up over that 400 combo cap. But Grow Roasted has taken that, run with it to the bank, and has built up about a 5,000 point lead going into the last quarter of the map.
And it's just so unfortunate. That's got to be the most tilting thing in the world. The mental must be almost destroyed for NEP at this moment. It's so unfortunate that they've dropped, I think, 3 maps in a row in the latter half to give up a lead.
Yeah, for sure. But if there's anybody that has that mental fortitude, that knows that they can do it, it is NEP. They have been in this position before where they have had mechanical issues, where they have had things not go their way, and they have managed to pull things through. There is a last sliver of map left to go. It is all on Grow Roasted to not find a drop this late on into the map. But for right now, this lead is pretty much intact. Still holding on to the full combo here. One of the first full combos either of these players have pulled through, and on arguably one of the densest maps in this pool, over 7,200 combo, and climbing on these last couple of inverses. It is going to be Grow Roasted taking another breakpoint here and making it 5-2.
Wow, and 4 miss. They were very clean, but I mean 4 misses is 4 misses, right? Grill Roasted, so consistent on these maps, has basically gotten better and better at in the accuracy department as the map goes on and on. We see him start off with like a 99.6 around there, and then just climb his way up and up as the map continues. It's crazy.
Yeah, for sure. He definitely starts to settle into the maps as they start to go longer and longer. And for NEP, I feel they can't take a timeout on their opponent's pick, but after this next map, I would not be surprised to see them try and take a break, maybe try and sort out the the hardware issues that they have been having. Maybe reconnect that keyboard, restart the computer to try and keep things under control here, because it could definitely get out of hand with not too many picks left on the table. It's going to be wildcard 4 Sulfide coming out for Grow Roasted.
Oh boy, wildcard 4. That's gonna be an interesting pick. Pretty similar to Nep's protect of wildcard 5. So I'll have to see how this goes, but
Yeah, like I said, I feel like this is quickly turning into battle, an external battle to a bit of an internal battle for Nepigen. They need to regain their composure. They know that they're able to perform on this map pool. They did it against Pavin to make it this far. They can't let the mechanical issues, the external issues get to them too much, because they still need to perform against somebody as elite as Grow Roasted, especially on a bit of a deficit now as we make our way into Wildcard 4.
yeah, Grill Roasted did not become a runner-up in Tournament 4.5 for nothing. They have shown for such a long time their proficiency on LN, and I mean, based on seeding, these two were very, very close, and we're seeing it here and now. 5-2 is extremely close, especially when you take into consideration what's been going on in the back halves of the previous maps.
Yeah, for sure. And now with this one being a little bit shorter, maybe there's less time for keyboard issues to mar the performances, but we are virtually tied going into the second third of the map. Growers are pulling ahead, but I dare not even call it a lead one way or the other. They are trading these 300s back and forth as they stand on this perch of 99.8 down into the 99.7s. It seems where one goes, the other soon follows, and neither really wants to pick up the slack and pull ahead here as we make our way into the back half of the map.
Oh yeah, everyone does fine on the rolls. Nep does take a little bit more damage, but as we get into this chorus, it remains to be seen who can take a good lead, but Grill Roasted takes a huge miss.
That being said, that is one of the cleanest drops I have seen so far this match. Did not even touch the accuracy, and Nep quickly soon there followed in terms of dropping accuracy, maybe a singular 200 or two on the bursts. But as we get into these longer LNs, Groros are going to be finding a couple of 200s as well, going to lower their accuracy just below, but there's another slider break as these really sharp short LNs start to come through, and that is going to help cushion this lead for Nep as we make our way into the last quarter of the map.
Yeah, that one was really clean too. I mean, both of those misses were so clean you could eat off of them, but that's not going to matter when Grip is going to take this point.
I mean, we have been in a situation before. Neb has had these leads, and there have been last second bursts. I don't want to call it just yet. There is still enough time for things to go catastrophic for them. I pray that nothing happens in this last sliver of map, but it is about 500% separating these two. There's not a lot of tricks left up this map's sleeve.
No, none at all. Nep with a really impressive 992. Oh, almost there.
Almost there. A 991 to answer back. They were reeling for the last couple of maps, but that is the level of performance that NEP themselves expect from themselves. They have such a high bar for themselves, and they take back one of those crucial breakpoints to make it 5-3.
That's very important too because Nep still has his protect of wildcard 5. I really want them to choose it pretty much right now. It's almost now or never. So I think it'd be a really good confidence booster if you can pick that and get the point along with it.
Yeah, for sure. One of the other maps that might be for consideration, Coordination 1 Endgame, was how they closed it out against Pavin, and they put up a disgusting score on that to close out that match. If they can keep that level of consistency for this match, maybe that could also serve as a second protect, because I don't think Grorosa wants to try and contest that willingly against Nep here.
Yeah, that's actually such a good idea too because Grill Roasted had actually played it in their match and got a slightly lower score. I think it was within 1,000 of Neps. They had 5 grades and slightly more 300s, but regardless, it was very, very close, and it's super hard to contest a top score like that when you're going up against Nep.
Yeah, for sure. But speculation aside, you are correct. It is going to be that protect coming out from Nep here. It is going to be wildcard 5 Confession to try and wrestle back some of the momentum that GrillRoasted has built up and basically make this competitive down to the wire.
And again, we see GrillRoasted with the accuracy disadvantage at the start. I mean, it's hard when Nep starts off with a 99.9, but we're gonna see GrillRoasted climb up in accuracy as this map goes on and on. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely. They have been a bit of a slow starter, at least by comparison. These are still some very, very high accuracies. The reason we're calling them drops in the first place is just the level of which these two push each other to. We can only stand back and try and deliver the best commentary we can as we watch two very ET players going at it against each other. It is inside of 0.1% as we make our way into the second quarter of the map here.
Yeah, here's the first dense part, and GrillRoasted will find another really, really clean drop, but that's gonna swing things over to Nep's side very decisively.
Yeah, for sure. These shield patterns, these borderline mini jack sections in the second quarter of the map have been catching out players this weekend, and GrillRoasted is going to be the next one to find a bit of a drop here. The one good thing is the fact that getting back up with that 400 combo cap is very easy on a map like this, so they're able to stem the bleeding just a little bit and try and keep themselves in with a bit of a shout here. But that second drop's really going to start doing some damage here as we make our way into the middle of the map.
Oh yeah, a second drop is going to be really, really hard to come back from, because I cannot imagine Nep getting two misses in separate places after reaching a combo cap.
Yeah, for sure. And even with the mechanical issues that they have been having, they have been very isolated in particular sections. I always fear whenever they pick these longer maps that it does leave a bit of room for it to rear its head, but as we make our way into the last third of the map, it is almost 0.2% separating these two players. Nep really finding their comfort zone here.
Yeah, what a great pick by Nep. I wasn't sure what they were going for going into this match, because I believe it was unplayed by both of them, but Nep just had something up his sleeve and performed on this map. What a great accuracy to end off on too as we get into this last little section. I mean, even without those misses, I feel like GrillRoasted would have lost this quite decisively.
Ooh, as you say that, there's a slider break.
Oh no, I'm
Nep.
so sorry, Nep.
Now that one was signed, sealed, and delivered. You premeditated that, and they managed to catch it, but I don't believe that was a big enough drop. That was also a very clean drop from Nep, and as they make their way up to 400 combo cap, it did not make that much of a dent in the lead. The accuracy did not fall enough for GrillRoasted to take advantage of, and as this map starts to come to an end, 99.75 is going to be the mark. Oh, another couple of breaks!
Oh my gosh, Nep's scaring us so much with the end. Oh my god, takes a chain miss, but that's not going to be enough.
Oh, that made it so close for comfort there at the very end. 2,000 points separating these two players, and Nep even felt it. They knew as soon as those last couple of drops came out, they thought they lost it, but they managed to build up just enough of a cushion, and now it is 5-4. Nep needing to take this breakpoint to tie things up. This is going to be a very crucial pick from GrillRoasted.
Yeah, because this is the one to get to match point, right? And this is your pick, so you really, really have to think and see what is a good map against Nep. I know that in GrillRoasted's last match, it was kind of a mixed bag where he picked, I think, one from each category. Picked a coordination, tech, wildcard, and a density for all four of their picks. So we're gonna have to see what GrillRoasted wants here, because I mean, as the map pool whittles down, you start to try to look into it more and find, you know, what's more suitable for you as a map. And we're gonna see Tech 2 being picked.
So susceptible, going to be coming out here. I was gonna say probably want to avoid the density pool. Don't really want to leave that wild card up to chance if you're trying to secure yourselves at the very least a tiebreaker situation, go with something that can lead to a couple of chokes, something above 3 minutes. Very importantly, we have seen Nep's keyboard seems to have a tolerance of just under 3 minutes. Anything above that, and we start to see those double taps come out. It's very, very interesting. So hopefully that doesn't play a factor here as we get into this next map. An opportunity for GrillRoasted to make match point, an opportunity for Nep to tie things up here.
And I'd like to point out that Nep did play this in their match against Pavin, got a very clean, almost 992 with 5 greats, really nice FC in that match. So maybe GrillRoasted is looking at his local scores and saying, hey, maybe I can beat this, or maybe Nep's having a pretty bad match overall, so I can overtake him, and hopefully, as you said, maybe the keyboard gives out.
Yeah, for sure. There's a lot of things at play. You try and take out any advantages that you can as the players make their way out of this introduction. It is GrillRoasted with 300% of a lead. It is a slender lead. Any 200s can swing this back and forth. It is very volatile as Nep starts to climb back up to meet them. They are virtually tied going out of this first quarter of the map. These Trills both handled very expertly as we get into this locker room. Like Trill out of it. Oh my goodness, both players just putting on a show right now as we make our way into the second third of the map.
Oh yeah, it seems like GrillRoasted is hanging on to a low 99.74. Does take a great, so that lead is gonna swing over to Nep just for the time being as we get into the build-up section.
Yeah, this is too close to call as we make our way further and further into this map. They are trading blow for blow. 200s being traded back and forth. Rushes of 300s being answered back and forth. They are still tied. It is 99.72 apiece. You can put a postage stamp between both of these players. Bancho is doing everything in his power to try and keep some semblance of a leaderboard. But it is being traded back and forth once again. Each accuracy drop is being met by the other player. They are now both down into that 99.70 range. Last third of the map to come. As one climbs, the other one soon thereafter follows. It is 99.71 now, the finest of margins once again as we get deeper and deeper into this map. Neither player giving an inch here. They are following each other.
Both players are just completely in sync. Oh my gosh, it's so close. One person needs to break free from the stalemate.
It's 110 points separating both of these players as we make our way into the last quarter of the map. Neither player can afford to blink as GrillRoasted comes back up to meet Nep once again. 99.71. It is too close to call here. We are in for a photo finish, folks, here as we make our way into the last eighth of the map. Things start to calm down for just a second before we hit this ending.
Oh man, and both players go with the staggered releases very well. GripWarrior actually taking a bit of a lead finally. It's nothing decisive. A couple 200s might swing it over. However, GrillRoasted doesn't seem to be pushing that ag at all.
Yeah, at the moment, this is a very slender lead. This is, I think, the largest margin that either player has had throughout this entire map. 300% in favor of Nep. As we get into the last note, watch these releases. And it is going to be Nep by 700 points, taking it over GrillRoasted and making it 5-5 now.
Nep finally catching up to GrillRoasted after unfortunate misses in the middle of the match. Finally finds himself back onto GrillRoasted's level. It is 5-5, and now it is basically a best of 3.
Best of 3, first player to win 2 maps, wins this match, punches their ticket into the grand finals. And we have gone so long, the players are starting to forget what maps were picked. Can we talk about how close those ratios were?
Oh yeah, the 300s were within, I believe, 25, and just GrillRoasted taking 2 more 200s. It is insane how close it was.
I think if Nep drops 1 200 at any point in that map, I think GrillRoasted takes it by like double digits.
It's super close. Nep's gonna have to pick here. As I said before, I feel like Coordination 1 seems pretty nice. So I mean, Nep, if you're in the stream, that might be a good pick for you. However, it's really close, and I'm not even sure what Grill Roasted would pick in retaliation.
I feel like Grow Roasted's last avenue would probably be something like Acquaintance. With how close Susceptible was, I mean, you just gotta take that gamble. You don't want to play Density or Wildcard. I feel like those are NEP favored picks. It's just the fact that the accuracy is so tight. You want to get into a ratio battle to try and fight for your tournament life. Our referee doing an immaculate job of letting the players know what is left on the table to give them something to consider. And this is the most important pick in this match.
Oh, for sure. It's insane how much you need to think about this and make sure that your pick goes right. I know that you said that Grill Roasted might want to pick Tech 1, but I'd also like to mention that NEP had played Acquaintance in their match and got a 992 FC. So it might be a bit of a trap, who knows?
God, I feel like every single pick is a landmine at this point. They are so evenly matched, and it is going to be Density 3. NEP is going to try and out-physical Grow Roasted to try and punch their match point ticket to secure themselves at least the tiebreaker in this scenario. It is going to be Lunatic Eyes coming out here.
Yeah, NEP said that every pick is so risky, and I agree so much. That map pool just looks like you're playing Minesweeper but blindfolded and with one hand, and
literally there's only one safe spot in 99 landmines. You gotta find the one. You get no extra information, and as we make our way through this first quarter of the map, strong starts by both players. NEP picking up that slight advantage, but as we get deeper and deeper, we're gonna start to see these accuracies start to even out, and we do right on cue. Second quarter of the map, they are within 300% once again.
And again, this is one of the shorter maps of the pool. It's not like the coordination picks where you're duking it out for 3-4 minutes long. Grill Roasted does take an unfortunate miss at the end of that section.
That's going to hand NEP a bit of a cushion to work with. It was a pretty clean drop, and they're already back up with that 400 combo cap. These trills, both players handling them with relative ease. Maybe a couple of 300 rushes here and there. NEP falling down from their perch down into the low 99.7s. Grow Roasted in the high 99.6s, able to close things up here, keep it very competitive. If NEP does find a drop in this back half of the map, it would be devastating this late on.
Yeah, I feel like a clean drop from NEP this late into the map would pretty much even things out, and it would just come down to accuracy in the end. And given the circumstances, even with the drop, Grill Roasted has climbed up to NEP's accuracy. So if NEP does find a drop, it would probably be Grill Roasted's win.
Yeah, for sure. They cannot afford to blink this late on. Last eighth of the map to go. They are tied in accuracy. It is just by sheer virtue of that singular mistake that Grill Roasted made earlier on in the map, giving NEP this cushion to work with. And as this map comes to an end, still of the utmost importance to read everything and not take your foot off the gas. A couple too much coming out from Grow Roasted, going to damage their accuracy, even though they have the accuracy lead. That slider break going to make all the difference, and NEP secures themselves at worst the tiebreaker here.
And look at how unfortunate it is for Grill Roasted. Better 300s, better 200s, but that miss was fatal. I think the accuracy was better. Oh my gosh.
That 100 would have thrown things into complete disarray. We saw a 700-point win. I think we would have seen like a 300-point win either way. It is way too close to call between these two players. And Grow Roasted, last pick of the match, potentially last pick of your tournament life. You've got to make it count here.
Oh no, Grill Roasted is gonna pick a game. No, please, Grill Roasted. It is such a bad omen of a map. You do not want to see endgame picked. I promise you.
I think every single match so far this weekend has ended on endgame one way or another. It is a cursed pick in this pool, but it is one that they can perform on Do you want to get into a ratio battle with Nep? It is going to be Wildcard 2. Nostalgic Blood of the Strife is going to come out for Grill Roasted's last pick. It is either tiebreaker or bust for them in this situation.
Oh man, and what a test this map is. In Emily and Demi-Fiend's match, we just saw miss after miss traded left and right. It is so very physical and so hard to keep a combo going on this map. So I really worry for both of them. It really comes down to combo game, I feel, at this stage of the tournament.
Yeah, this is one of the, if not the shortest map in this pool. Singular mistakes, singular 200s are going to swing things back and forth between these two players. You cannot afford to blink on a map like this. Alrighty, and out of this introduction, they are once again separated by basically a postage stamp out of that introduction. 99.79 apiece. But Grocer finds a rush at 200. Is going to damage their accuracy and fall below Neps here as we make our way into the second quarter of the map. They are going to find a way to climb, though. They have done it so far this match. They got to tighten up, though. They have a bit of work to do right now.
Yeah, each burst with the drums that come in are so scary, as we saw in our last match that we just casted. I mean, again, so many misses came out, but both players doing just fine for now. Grill Roasted a little worse for wear again at a 99.6. That's probably got to be the biggest lead when both players have been FCing in this match so far.
Yeah, for sure. This is the healthiest cushion that Nep has had to work with both players still FCing. But that being said, Nep is starting to find some damage of their own, closing up ranks right now, still about 800% in the lead. Another couple of 200, but GripWarrior finds the slider break, and that is horrible news for Nep in trying to secure this match as we make our way into the last eighth of the map. The accuracy lead and the score lead now going back over to Grill Roasted, and oh boy, Dyna, I don't want to call it too close, but Grill Roasted finds the drop. Oh my god. Okay, last sliver of map left to go. Nep has found their way back up over that 400 combo cap. Grill Roasted, is there enough time for them to survive? Last couple of bursts, and they hold on. It is 2,000 points the difference, and we are going to tiebreaker.
Oh my god, yet another jump scare, but this time on the side of Grill Roasted, missing in less than the last 400 notes, scaring all of us. We thought it was going to be close, and we got it. We got what we wanted. We are now at tiebreaker.
Oh my goodness, we have had so many close calls with tiebreakers. I felt like semifinals was the epitome of the tiebreaker, the essence of all tournaments, and it is here once again to bless us in this final match of finals weekend. It is the ticket to the grand finals between these two insane players. Grill Roasted had the lead 5-2 at one point. Nep fought back to tie it up 5-5, and both players, against all odds, taking their last picks to set us up here.
Yeah, the blood, sweat, and tears shed by both of these players. They must be gassed out, completely exhausted. They must be reaching their limit coming into this tiebreaker map, and they don't even want to take a break.
No,
The episode is already out.
There is no rest for the weary as we make our way into Dichroma Ludiosia. It is going to be Grill Roasted going up against Nepigen here for a spot in the grand finals against Demi-Fiend, who awaits them.
And clocking in at almost 6 minutes long. A miss honestly does not matter at this point. It really does depend on your consistency in this map. As we've seen, Grill Roasted has been so very consistent. I mean, climbing up to Nep's score even after taking a hit, and Nep also on the other side of things has been doing so well when pulling out an FC. I mean, it's just a toss-up for both of these players. Seed 5 versus Seed 6, you could not get any closer than that.
Yeah, for sure. If this is going to be a war of attrition, two heavyweight boxers trading blow for blow. We started this match off with 5 breakpoints in a row before the players settled in and started taking their own map picks. This has been a tightly contested matchup, and as we make our way through this first eighth of the map, they are virtually tied. Both players holding on to their FCs, climbing up into that 1500 combo mark. It is Nep ahead by the narrowest of margins for the moment.
Yeah, I mean, at this stage in the tournament, when you see players like this FCing at under like a 99.7, you just have to think that they are maybe like hanging on a thread, just on the tightrope right now, dancing with each other.
Yeah, for sure. It is a vicious dance that they must partake in here as we close up ranks. 300%, now 200s, separating both these players. And it has been the story throughout the match, and that builds up this accuracy advantage, and grillroasted comes up to meet them time and time again. It has been singular slip-ups from both of these players that have given them the points that they needed to make it this far. And as we make our way into the second third of the map, there is not much separating these two players for the moment. They are virtually tied once again.
Both players clearing that pretty techie section as we get into a more dense one. I mean, grillroasted has really shined when it comes to moments like this.
Oh my goodness, they're trading back and forth.
Oh my god!
What is going on here? Grip, what happened there? That had to have been a lag spike. That is way too many misses for a hardware issue. But as it stands, they trade back and forth once again. grillroasted coming out the beneficiary of those trades, 0.4% and a flurry of misses to work with at the moment. It is going to be a tall mountain for Nep to climb as we make our way into the back half of the map. But with that being said, there's still over 2.5 minutes left to contest, and now grillroasted finds a rush of misses, and that is going to damage the lead just a little bit here. Those are very clean, but it is very numerous.
I mean, we're gonna need to see just a couple more. Nep took such a dirty rush in that burst. I can't blame him at all, but we're gonna need to see something out of grillroasted. We're gonna need to see a lot more misses in order for the bars to start flickering again.
Yeah, for sure. But as we make our way into the last third of the map, Nep has climbed back up. It's at a 99.2 mark. grillroasted hasn't really climbed back up from that 99.4 perch. If Nep can climb in accuracy and grillroasted finds any more misses this late on, we could see things swing again. Nep is not out of this just yet. grillroasted is not out of the woods just yet. A couple of 200s coming out here on that transition into this more dense section. Last quarter of the map still to come, and this lead is still very fragile. It's about 5,000 points separating these two players this deep into the map.
Yeah, I mean, Nep's gonna have to climb up to that 99.4. Not a bad start. Nep, again, gonna have to climb up. But I mean, when the map's been going on for so long, each note barely moves that tick forward, barely moves your accuracy. So it really does seem like the ball is in grillroasted's court for the rest of the map, and there's only about a sixth left. Oh, what a miss!
That is a nasty one. That is going to start doing some damage here. They were up over that 400 combo cap, but Nep has held that 400 combo cap for a while now, up over 4,500 combo. grillroasted going to be able to stem the bleeding here just a little bit. All these drops from grillroasted have been so clean. They are not giving Nep an inch to breathe, and Nep finally finds the drop in response. That is going to help cushion this lead for grillroasted as we make our way into the last eighth of the map. It is one unfortunate potential lag spike separating these two players, but grillroasted has been putting in the work here. Outside of that first initial trade, still able to stay in that 99.4% perch that has been nigh untouchable.
Yeah, death is knocking on Nep's door. His time has come as this map closes out.
There is not a lot left, not a lot of tricks left up this map sleeve. And another slider break from Nep. The writing was on the wall. That one is going to do it. And it is going to be Grill Roasted punching their ticket into the grand finals to go up against Demi Fiend for a chance at Siluesca Els.
Well played to both of these players. They really played their hearts out in this match. It was such a fun one to watch. And congratulations to Grill Roasted for securing at least top 3.
Yeah, for sure. Commiserations to Nep on the outside looking in fourth place. But with that being said, oh my goodness, there has to be a winner, and congratulations to Grow Roasted. Hard fought between these two players. We thank you all for watching along with us. We know I might have missed the introduction a little bit, but hopefully that grandstand finish more than made up for it as we congratulate Grow Roasted once again, and we see the bracket here. Your top 3. Siluesca Els securing herself a top 2 finish, and Demi-Fiend and Grow Roasted will be going at it for a chance to try and run it back to take the Mania Long Note Tournament 3 crown.
Yep,
Oh
these
boy,
are the final 3 players, the best 3 players for long notes in the world right now, quite possibly.
quite possibly.
Quite possibly. So, I mean, I'm so excited to see what's going to happen next week. But before that, we are going to have a showcase for you guys to show you what the staff members have been cooking up. And I mean, if you've been listening or watching, I mean, you'd know they have something up their sleeves.
Yeah, for sure. They're not going to want to pull any punches for this final map pool. We'll keep you guys posted on when the map pool showcase is going to be. But until then, on behalf of Dinah and myself, we'll catch you guys later.